Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. In today's episode we are in Kamakura, which is located in the Kanto region of Japan, about 60 minutes to 90 minutes away from Tokyo. And this place is really special because it has a lot of shrines and temples, and also because of its proximity to Tokyo, since it's just a few trains away from there. This is a perfect place to get away from the city just for one day, to see maybe something that's a bit more like old Japan and see a bit of the nature right here, because usually landscape is really beautiful here in Japan. But yes, I am super excited to be here, super excited to be a little bit away from the city and also to discover all of these really beautiful shrines. So without any further ado, let's explore. Kamakura, a historic coastal city in Japan, was the country's unofficial capital when it served as the seat of the Kamakura shogunate there from 1185 to 1333. It is known among Buddhists as the cradle of Nichiren Buddhism during the 13th century. Renowned for its serene side streets lined with ancient temples and traditional architecture, every corner reveals wooden machiya houses, stone pathways, and hidden shrines, creating a tranquil escape from modern life. This old-world charm, combined with the scent of incense and seasonal blooms, makes Kamakura an enchanting destination steeped in history. When you come to Kamakura, I actually recommend stopping at Kita Kamakura, which is the North Kamakura train station, because that's where you're going to find a lot of the big temples, and it's kind of like an easier route to go to. And the best temple that I found right here is the Kuji Temple, which was founded in 1282, and it is really sublime. When you go inside, you think, oh, it's just going to be a small little building, but actually this place is well, it's pretty huge. It has many side streets. It's sort of like a little village in itself. It has stairways, and it's just gorgeous to see that there's still something that is from the past that exists nowadays in this day. I'm sure that they had to do many renovations to keep it this way, but it's wonderful to be able to walk in such a place. Zuiro-kusan Engakuji, founded in 1282 by the monk Mungagu Soken under the order of Hojo Tokimune, maintains the classical Japanese Zen monastic design and is one of Kamakura's most significant Zen temples. Built to honor those who died repelling the Mongol invasions, it embodies the spirit of samurai-era Japan. Nestled in forested hills, its stone stairways ascend through towering cedars, while winding brick alleys, an uncommon feature in temples of this era, connect various structures, seamlessly blending history with adaptation. These paths lead to ancient wooden halls and sacred relics, making every step feel like a journey through time, where Zen philosophy and tradition endure. If you are a little bit adventurous and willing to stray a little bit away from the path that most tourists go to, well, there is a 10N hiking course, which is basically well, much more nature. So you get to see a lot of trees and really fewer tourists. It is a little bit of a stretch to get to it, because from the North Station you have to go up quite a few streets, but it's really pleasant to go up these streets because you get to see a lot of the older style houses, and actually you get to see maybe how people outside of the big cities live. And many of these older houses also have been converted into cafes or restaurants, so if you have time you could also just go up the hill and then have a cafe, have a drink, relax, and then start the hike. And then once you do get to the 10N hiking trail, there's different courses to take, and each of these courses have also other temples to them. I mean, if you want to do every single hike, it's gonna take a long time, so I just think that you should choose wisely, do a bit of research. But it is fun to be really in the middle of nature. This is where you feel that you're not a tourist anymore, and that you're actually engaging with the deep culture of Japan. The 10N hiking trail in Kamakura offers a journey through history and nature, beginning with winding side streets lined with family-owned cafes and traditional wood houses. As you navigate steep hilly paths, the dense forests and ancient stone markers reflect the region's feudal past. The trail, once used by monks and samurai, provide breathtaking views of Sagami Bay, surrounded by rich biodiversity. The area's rugged topography and dense vegetation have remained relatively unchanged for centuries, offering a glimpse into Kamakura's natural and historical landscape. As promised, Well, when you're hiking, you do see a bunch of temples. And going so high into the mountains, I stumbled upon Kenchoji Temple, which is the first of the 5 big temples of the mountain network right here. So it's ranked number 1. And it's super duper interesting because they have a bunch of statues that kind of look like birds. It was actually created by Zen monks in 1253. So it's also a really, really old temple. And it's just so interesting. So yeah, it does take a little bit of an effort to go up the hill, but then you get to see all these magical places that you otherwise would miss if you stayed on the bottom of the hill. And also, on a fun note, this kind of resembles a little bit the Legend of Zelda, and I do really see how they got their inspiration to make the video game. I mean, this is pretty much like walking in the game. Established in the late 19th century, Hansobo is a historically significant Shinto shrine located between Kamakura's Kenchoji Temple and seamlessly integrated into the surrounding forest of the hills. It enshrines the protective deity of Kenchoji and is accessible via a steep stairway lined with stone relics. The shrine features intricate architectural details and numerous cultural artifacts. The shrine's blend of Shinto and Zen Buddhist elements reflects Japan's syncretic religious traditions, deepening its historical and spiritual significance. One thing to bear in mind when going to Kamakura is the fact that there are so many temples, and not just 1 or 2, but there are 65 temples and 15 shrines. So seeing all of them, it's not going to happen in one day. But also bear in mind that going into some of these temples does cost a little bit of money. So not even to just go inside the temple, but to go on the grounds of the temple could cost anywhere between 300 to 500 yen. Some of them also have tea ceremonies, and that could be another 600 yen. So be sure to also have cash when you come to this area, because all these places want money and they don't accept credit card. So yeah, if you don't have cash, well, you might be in trouble because you're pretty much missing some of the entertainment of the place. But yeah, don't try to see everything because it's just not possible. Try to research a little bit. What are the best shrines? See what interests you. Go and see that. Otherwise, you're just going to get overwhelmed. Kenchoji, the oldest Zen temple in Kamakura, was founded in 1253 and remains a masterpiece of traditional architecture. Like many of Kamakura's historic temples, it harmonizes nature with stunning wooden structures, serene gardens, and intricate sculptures. The city is home to numerous temples, each offering peaceful prayer spaces and century-old artifacts. It's remarkable that these buildings have withstood time, preserving their spiritual and cultural significance amid Kamakura's lush scenic landscapes. Kenchoji once housed over 40 sub-temples, reflecting its historical importance as a center of Zen Buddhism during the Kamakura period. If you're willing to stray a little bit away from most of the really popular temples, well, you can find the Jufukuji Temple, which is the oldest temple right here in Kamakura. It was founded in 1157, so it is truly really old. It also ranks 3rd amongst the 5 mountain system of temples in this area, and it's definitely a different experience being right here because you almost don't see anybody. It's super cinematic. The greenery is really nice, and it almost feels like going back in time. Actually, this whole area of Kamakura, in some way, if you can kind of forget seeing some of the cars and some of the modern buildings, it really gives you an idea of how it was centuries ago right here. But yeah, if you're willing to take a chance, I do recommend going a bit away from the city center and seeing some of, well, these things that are kind of rare to be seen. Jufukuji, the oldest temple in Kamakura, was founded in 1200 by Hojo Masako in honor of her late husband, Minamoto no Yoritomo, and like the temples deep in the mountains, Jufukuji sits along peaceful side streets, offering easy access without strenuous climbs. Walking through Kamakura's quiet alleys, surrounded by historic wooden structures, feels like stepping into an anime. The atmosphere is serene and timeless, a striking contrast to the energy of modern city life. At Kotoku-en, they have the great Buddha statue of Kamakura, which is a giant bronze statue of Buddha. And yes, it is awesome and super touristic. This is kind of like what Kamakura is known for in a lot of pictures. It's temples, it's shrines, but also the Buddha statue. So coming here without seeing it would kind of be like a sort of waste in some way because it is one of the highlights of this area, but of course it is going to be filled with a ton of people. It's also 300 yen to go inside this temple, but it's just a couple dollars. It's not so expensive. But yeah, in some ways coming to Kamakura is really fun, but at the same time it's really a sensory overload because there's just a little bit too much to see, and it's kind of overwhelming. The iconic Great Buddha Daibutsu of Kamakura is made of bronze and stands 13.35 meters tall. Cast in 1252 during the Kamakura period, it was originally enclosed in a temple hall, but the structure was destroyed by typhoons and a tsunami in the 14th and 15th centuries. Today the statue sits within the tranquil grounds of Koku Temple, surrounded by lush greenery, stone pathways, and smaller historical structures, creating a peaceful atmosphere that enhances the spiritual presence. Koku Inn has been a site of pilgrimage for centuries, reflecting the deep reverence of Amida Buddha in Japan's religious and cultural history. Kamakura truly is a wonderful place. There's just so much to visit right here, from shrines, temples, big Buddha statues. It's kind of overwhelming, and yes, we did have a little bit of gray weather and a bit of rain today, but it doesn't matter. Luckily, it wasn't too cold and I still enjoyed it, but truly to see everything, I think that it would take more than one day, but one day is enough to get a good taste of what Kamakura is and all of its shrines. But yeah, I think, well, that's pretty much it for me actually, because this is my last day right here in Tokyo. I shot quite a few videos, and I'm really sad to leave this country just because there's so much to discover still. But yeah, if you did enjoy watching this video, watching all my other videos in Japan, please be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, leave me a comment too. Let me know what other places in the world I should go visit, what other places in Tokyo or Japan I should go visit. Maybe I could make that happen. I'm always trying to find excuses to come back. Okay, well that's it. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.